Hey everybody, how's it going? B Temple back again, and today we got something that you've seen before in a different version. What we have here is a Slovenian single meal ration, so either an 8-hour or 12-hour, whatever you want to call a single meal ration. We've done one of these before. I was the first person to ever review one of these particular rations, and I had a Type C at that point, and I managed to get my hands on a different menu. So what we have here is our Type B or Menu B, whatever you want to call it. So some of the items we're going to see in here are going to be exactly the same as they were in the Type C, but we're going to get a couple snacks and sides kind of things that are going to be a variation. So like I said before, these are incredibly rare. They don't show up very often. And yeah, so this will be the first ever review of this particular menu. The only other review of a Type C was by Steve 1989. So, you know, this will only be the third time this particular version of a ration, this single meal Slovenian, usually Slovenian rations, come in 24-hour packs, but this is just a particular special version of it. So it's got coffee instant in here, and we got some coffee whitener, vitamin mineral drink, sugar and energy bar. We got ourselves a chocolate cake, beef goulash in a pouch, tuna fish and olive oil, bread substitute, antiseptic tissues, waste bag, and our cutlery pack. So we'll tear this open and have a look at what's inside. So first off, we've got our 2 packets of crisp bread, and these did not survive nearly as well as the Type C's did back in the day. So that's a little disappointing, but they'll at least still taste well, I'm sure. Got a Calvo tuna steak in olive oil. Got a fruit bar with added vitamins and minerals. Got our cutlery set. Spoon, little tiny knife, and a fork. And a little black garbage bag. Got 2 isotonic beverages. Pomeranca, or Pomeranca. So these are orange flavored. Instant coffee and whitener. 2 sugars. 2 wet wipes. A chocolate cake, which I assume this is Orifo. So in the previous menu we had a cinnamon cake, so this is chocolate. And lastly, we have our main meal, an FRH. We've got beef goulash and pasta, and this is made by Jamipsa. So this is, anyone who's seen Portuguese rations and United Nations humanitarian or United Nations peacekeeper rations. Yeah, this is the same exact sort of idea. They're made by Jamipsa. Jamipsa also makes items for the Spanish rations as well, but this kind of packaging is very akin to Portuguese and United Nations. So that's it, guys. This is everything for an 8-hour, 12-hour ration, whatever you want to call it. So what we'll do is actually I was wrong. I know the packaging is similar to Jamipsa, but usually sometimes these cakes are actually Orifo. But this one is produced by Jamipsa as well. So these 2 items here are by Jamipsa. You might wonder, well, why would a Slovenian ration have some of those kind of items in there? Well, Slovenia sometimes does take part in NATO missions, so obviously you're going to want to have things that are can be shared, you know, used from different countries. So guys, not much more to say. Let's lay all this out and give some of it a try. So we'll get our FRH ready to go, guys, and get our main meal heated up. Tear the top off. Got our main meal. And then we fill this line. So that's a lot more water than what you would find you'd need for an FRH for an American or Canadian ration. But these ones do need a little more. And we'll see how long it takes for that to start going. Start to hear it now. Thought I'd move the fruit bar. I didn't really want it to get heated up by all the steam coming out of this. Alright, that seems like it's probably done. Let's get this out of... Alright, let's see what our beef goulash with pasta main looks like. So you've got, I guess that's rotini pasta, I suppose. And instead of it being actual ground beef, we've got chunks, full chunks of actual beef. I don't know what the quality of that's like, but we'll get there. First thing, I guess we'll try some of the other items. We'll give our vitamin and mineral fruit bar a try. You can see easily here there's things like oats in there. This is also, I'm sure, going to be like fig and date and raisin based. Yeah, that's a heavy fig and date flavor. Delicious. Not very sweet at all. It's just the flavor of the fig and the date really take over everything. A little bit of that oat flavor, and it does actually give you a little bit of a textural kind of difference. Although, obviously, pureed fig and date does have a little bit of a grainy texture to begin with anyway. So I think by having the oats in there, it kind of lends itself to that as well. Keeps you having a fairly constant, similar kind of texture. But yeah, those are fantastic. Absolutely nothing bad to say about those. I'll give one of our crisp breads a try. We did get a few pieces that were perfect, so I thought I'd lay those ones out. And these crisp breads are fantastic. They're sort of like a whole wheat Revita, which is like a brand you can get around here. I don't know where else Revita is, but I know it's something you can buy in stores here, and they're usually really, really good. Let's have a little try of our tuna. So you've got just a can here with chunks of tuna sitting on olive oil. Smells kind of fishy, but it's not too bad. I'm certainly glad this is tuna as opposed to being mackerel, which is what you normally would get in Slovenian rations. So let's give that a try. And yeah, if anyone likes tuna, that's great, but it's a bit fishier than tuna usually is. So while it's good, I certainly wouldn't say it's my favorite form of getting tuna in a ration. I've had better. But it's certainly better than getting mackerel, in my opinion. Obviously, that's just my opinion. I'm sure many people would probably prefer to get mackerel, but yeah, for what it is, that's a lot better, a lot more enjoyable than getting mackerel in a ration. So, just to sort of get that flavor away before I try out the main, let's try out our orange isotonic drink. Yeah, it's great. Light, refreshing, orange, citrusy. Did a great job of clearing away that oily, fishy flavor that was going to be sitting around for a while if I didn't do that. So guys, we'll give our main a try now. I honestly don't know if I heated this up enough or not, but anyway, we'll give it a try. So we've got ourselves some chunks of beef. We got some rotini pasta in a mild, very, very mild looking sort of a tomato oil based kind of sauce. Not anything very thick, it's very thin. Let's give this a try. I hate to say it, but that's horrible. Oh, that doesn't taste good at all. The consistency of the pasta is really, really bad. The beef isn't a particularly good quality, and I don't know, I can't even put my finger on the actual flavor itself, like what it actually tastes like. You can't taste the tomato in it at all. It's supposed to have onion and salt and pepper in there, but it doesn't seem to exist. It's hiding very well. But yeah, it's just an overall entirely unpleasant flavor. So that's a major disappointment. Now, I usually don't give Jamip's a high grade anyway for the quality of its mains or some other of its items, but yeah, I don't want to go back and try that. That's really unappetizing. Not much else now, guys, except to try the chocolate cake, I guess. So yeah, it's dense. At the same time, it hasn't dried out yet, so that's a good sign. Let's give our chocolate cake a try. For as dense as that cake is, I took way too big of a bite there. It's kind of like trying to chew through a mouthful of peanut butter. So yeah, that's really good. Those cakes, whenever you find them, you can find them in a pile of different rations. Swedish, UN, other European countries, every now and then have those rations in there. And you usually find vanilla, chocolate, orange, and cinnamon seem to be the four main cakes you'll ever see. I've never seen another flavor aside from those four. I'd say probably the orange is my favorite, and you normally will find that one in Swedish rations. But the cinnamon probably is a close second. This I would probably put last, oddly enough. Vanilla is usually pretty fine. Chocolate, this is not bad. It's like I said, very dense. It's still got enough moisture in it though that it's not like eating sawdust. But the flavor of this one, it's not that great. You know, it's a very artificial chocolate flavor. I'm sure there's probably cocoa in there, but it's not a nice chocolate flavor is the best way to put it. I really don't know much else to say about it. It's good for what it is. You know, you're eating a ration cake, but I'd probably even take a USMRE pound cake over this particular chocolate one. This is probably my least favorite. All right, guys. So being an 8-hour / 12-hour ration, this is all we've got here in front of us. Now, a few things I didn't do because, well, I don't drink coffee, so I didn't really feel like mixing up the coffee. But I hate to say things are disappointing, but this particular menu, this menu B, I guess it is, yeah, was a lot worse than what menu C was. If I was in the Slovenian military, I think I'd probably rather get menu C than this one here. Now, I don't have a menu A. That's the only other one that's out there. I'm not 100% sure what the mains and the sides are in that one. But yeah, I'd certainly pass on this one again. The tuna is better than mackerel, but it's still not great. The crisp bread are always fine, and the fruit bars are great, and the isotonic drinks are wonderful. But yeah, I'd take any other flavor of cake over the chocolate, and this main is absolutely horrible. And it's still well within date. You know, it hasn't gone bad, but just, I don't know if it's just my palate or what, but that tasted horrible. I don't want to try that ever again. So, it's kind of bad leaving on a negative note, but I got really nothing else left to say. This has been a review of a incredibly rare Slovenian single meal ration, and hopefully I'll get back to you guys as soon as I possibly can with another review. And like I always like to say, thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a good one.